We're live.
Hi.
Hello. I don't know if anyone's in here, so I'm going to pop into the comments. Hello. Welcome to our Market Watch chat. I am Julia. Galen, do you want to introduce yourself since we're on this channel this time?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to. Thanks, Julia. I'm Galen from Fountain Pendulum. I'm Fountain Pendulum on YouTube and on Instagram as well, if you want to follow me there.
Yay. Yeah, and if on any of the currently inked videos or any of the top-down stuff, 9 times out of 10, I'm, using some Fountain Pendulum things for my inks and pens, and they're just always within reach because they're just so great, high quality. Love
Thank
them.
you. Yeah, for I guess a more thorough introduction for anyone who's not familiar is I have a YouTube channel and Instagram on fountain pens and accessories and things like that. But I also have a online shop that you can find on my YouTube or Instagram, where I make handmade wood desk accessories for fountain pens and inks also. So check those out if you haven't already. But for all of us who have fallen deep into the rabbit hole, we love our pens, our inks, and all the accessories that go with them that just make our hobby that much more enjoyable. And I know, Julia, you have some stuff on your shop as well.
Yeah, mostly just stickers. Like, I got a comment the other day that was like, you need to pimp your shop out more. And so I put it on Instagram. But it's totally like, it's just a fun thing that I do. I like making stickers for myself, and I saw that, people were interested. And so I was like, cool, I'll make stickers for other people too. And so it's been really fun. I also have some digital products now for the ink directory. We just like our accessories. Yeah, the fountain pens and inks aren't enough. You got to have some other stuff.
Yeah, no, we definitely do. We definitely do. And that'll be like a lot of what we're chatting about today too, because we want to talk about the holidays and easy gifting for yourself and for all your fountain pen enthusiast friends. So we have a lot of things that we'd like to share that we're really excited about that are I think for myself, the things that I wanted to chat about for gifting or stocking stuffers and things like that are mostly new things. And there's been a lot of new things, even in accessories within the industry. So stay tuned and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so let's kind of jump in with Secret Santa stuff, because I know that between like the work parties and even there's some Secret Santa programs and things happening in the community. Are you doing anything with Secret Santa and pens?
I am this year. Yeah. So I'm part of the pen club locally to me, and every holiday season we have a Secret Santa. It's more of like like the white elephant, where you bring a gift and you exchange it with other people. It get more of like you steal, and it's kind of the naughty Santa version, I guess. But so yeah, I mean, it's different every year. Some people kind of use it as an opportunity to pass along things that are in brand new condition that they've purchased and never used before and just aren't interested, or like bottles of ink that they've tried and perhaps wasn't a fit, so they pass it along. And some people even buy things specifically for the gift exchange. So it's like really a wide range, and it's open to whatever people want to do. So last year though, I got my first platinum preppy, and I'd always wanted to try one because it has like that nice seal that platinum makes, the spring seal. So I use it with platinum carbon ink now, and I address all my cards or my letters, like the envelopes, so that it's waterproofed and everything. So I'll see what I get this year. It's always like, you never know what you're gonna get, so it's kind of exciting.
I love in like the fountain pen community in particular, we're cool with like lightly used things. You know,
Yeah,
if like
definitely.
you can't really do that in a lot of other communities and just like your office party thing. Like you can't like give things that have already been used. But I think, you know,
Yeah.
here one thing that I love about the community.
Yeah,
Um,
I've gotten like mostly full bottles of ink, and I was happy to grab those because, you know, sometimes you find a new favorite of inks that you had never bought before, and it's all good. So yeah.
yeah, yeah,
How about
we
yourself?
pass around pens. Like I
Yes.
don't. I was gonna say something super inappropriate. So for me, last year was the first time that I've done a pen specific kind of Secret Santa, and it was on. Was it on Reddit? No, it was on Atlas's Discord, and so they did a
Oh,
Santa
okay.
exchange, and I got a super cool. I don't have it with me because I've gifted it again, but
It got regifted.
it got
Nice.
re-gifted. I used it quite a bit. It was a Jinhao X750. Um,
Okay.
super cool, pretty like um what is the color? It's such a like pastel yellow green color. It was really pretty.
Ooh.
I even ground the nib on it because I thought it would be a good one to practice on. So I got that and just a bunch of other like stationery things like this pen. Is this it? Yeah, where it's like an X-Acto knife with
Oh.
a pen. So you
Oh,
can just like
cool.
throw it in a pen case.
I've
That was
seen some
super
of the small
cool.
makers make those too, and
Oh yeah.
I like scissors and knives and things. I mean, that's a desk accessory, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
But oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. I love that you've been doing your own grinding too. That's really fun.
Yeah. It's been a separate rabbit hole, separate but
Oh,
adjacent.
I bet. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so this year I'm doing the Reddit Secret Santa.
Okay.
The fountain pens subreddit. And there's like two tiers based on how much money you want to spend. I think one is like a $15 tier and the other one is a $60 tier. And I just sent off my Secret Santa's gift yesterday. I don't,
Oh, nice. It'll get there in good time probably then. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. The
Now,
deadline is not until the 10th. So,
oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Do you know if they have like a higher tier that's like I feel like I heard someone last year doing 150 or something like that on Reddit?
Yeah. Well, apparently, it's a like a minimum spend. So
Okay.
you can go crazy. Hey, my mom's here. Hi, mom. So yeah, I think that's just a minimum spend. But I do remember seeing maybe last year that they had like a higher tier.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the you know, and gift exchanges in general, but I think I'd stick with that with fountain pen things is like somewhere around the 15 to maybe $30 I'd be pretty comfortable with. Um, but I feel like when you get higher than that, I'm quite particular about the things that I acquire. I feel like if you're newer in the hobby and you're just kind of like open to exploring anything, you might be willing to do like a gift exchange where it's a higher range because maybe you're just curious to try new things. But I
Absolutely.
think I'm more in a space where I'm pretty honed in, like not perfectly obviously, but quite into knowing what inks, what pens I really enjoy, and so I kind of um, I kind of would like to, if I was going to have a larger amount like that, I'd rather just go directly and buy what I want.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I actually, what's a hard no for you? Side question. When it comes to pens,
What's that?
what's a hard no for you? Like when it comes to pens,
Oh,
what's just like I you're not into it.
okay. Well, when it comes to like nibs, I would say I'm definitely a gold nib person. over steel. I feel like I enjoy the writing experience better. And obviously not all galled nibs are more responsive. That's what I like about some, but it has to be like the nib, it has to be the grind itself that's unique, or that it's gold and finer. I don't, anything, I actually prefer extra fines. So that's within that. Then when it comes to pen bodies, it has to be something really unique that I really like. I'm pretty open to colors. I think it just depends on the way. And but yeah, something unique. I tend to kind of like ebonite or
Yeah.
celluloid, something that's just. I even like vintage pens. Not that I have anything against resins, but yeah, just things that are unique. Like I picked up my first wooden pen. This is a Wancher, and it's made of sandalwood. So things like that, I think, are right now what I'm more interested in, and just something that's that brings something unique to the collection. Yeah.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Cool. I was just being nosy and wondering.
Oh no, you can answer the same question too, and anyone watching too, like you
Yeah.
can answer the questions that we're chatting about too yourself. We're curious to know what you guys are into.
I think for me, the hard no is a right now, anyways, is the metal grip section. I can
Ooh,
do a
yeah.
brush metal, okay, but
Mhm.
something about just the straight up metal. It gets, I don't like the temperature change. It gets
Oh
cold.
yeah.
It gets
Yep.
hot, and my fingers do get a little sweaty, and I just don't like the tactile feeling of the metal grip section.
Yeah, that's definitely one I've always avoided. The one I just mentioned, the wooden one, actually has a brass section on it. So, but this pen it's more meant for like note taking, like it's not, I would never really write a page with it. This is more of
Yeah.
like for fun. I
Yeah.
think there's some pens that we buy just because like they're really they attract us by their aesthetic, and obviously they have to write reasonably well, otherwise they don't really serve a purpose. But
Right.
in general, like then there's the pens that I buy specifically because I love the writing experience. I love the way they look and they're comfortable. So to me, when it comes to like writing comfort, I'm talking like half an hour to an hour plus, so a good page or more. And I usually shoot for pens that are good for that. I have a couple of pocket pens that are just unique finds, and they kind of add something to your collection,
Right.
that's just fun and entertaining and that kind of thing. But I think all of us like our daily drivers too, that are just more of the workhorse pens um, that you can rely on for long pages and entries and comfort. So yeah.
Yeah. Kristen says that skinny metals are hard no. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that might be
Yeah.
a common thing with the metals. Those are a tougher sell.
Definitely.
Mom wants to know which brand pen would be your recommendation for a beginner to use?
Oof. I'll let you go first because I've actually been thinking about this a lot lately, and I've been struggling because um I'll let you go first. I'll think about it.
Okay. So I've been trying to enable cam, and I feel
Oh,
like
cool.
I've been successful in that kind of a weird route.
Mhm.
Right now, he really likes the Lamy 2000, which is not a beginner pen. We did the Twisby Eco, circled around to the vanishing point. Like it was a strange kind of way.
Yep.
I honestly think the Pilot Kakuno
Mhm.
is, or the Pilot Metropolitan is a great
Yep.
starter. I'm trying to think if I have it within reach. Just because the Pilot nibs are so good.
Yeah, those are solid and reliable for sure.
Yeah, I have them both here. So Pilot
Yep.
Kakuno or Kakuno. And
I like
then
the clear ones. Those are really nice.
and you can fit the big converter in there, so you don't have to worry about the
Yeah.
annoyance of the Con 40. And then this is the Pilot Metropolitan.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, they're not super expensive compared to how crazy they can get, but still just very great pens. I have too many pens, and I still ink both of those up pretty
Oh,
regularly.
nice. Yeah, that definitely speaks for itself then. Um, I think that I really struggle with when people are like, "Oh, what's a great beginner pen?" And I think this isn't a very common way to approach it, but I think that I would say the best beginner pen is the pen, like the fountain pen, that individual will continue to use. Because sometimes people are like, "Oh, get the Twisby Eco," and I think those are really nice pens. But if that doesn't suit what the person's looking for in their fountain pen experience, they won't continue to use it, and so it's going to be a lose on our community side.
Yeah,
So I'd say for anyone who's looking to get into fountain pens, like chat with someone who's into the hobby that can make some recommendations to your specific ones. Because, for example, someone who's coming from more of the office world where they use like those Pilot Precisions and things like that, I
yeah,
think a natural transition would be like to a Pilot Explorer, because they look very similar and you're going to get the benefit of having a fountain pen
yeah,
in a similar look. Or if you want something a little more elevated, like you mentioned, I think the Pilot Vanishing Point is a great transition for people that are willing to spend a little bit more investment, a little more money into getting their first fountain pen. But if you're looking for something pretty, that may not appeal to people. That's when you might want to go like even Kaweco's, or
yeah.
it depends. Again, I think so. I just
Things around.
talk to someone who's into pens, and they'll gear you in your specific direction.
Yeah, I think another one that people kind of miss too is the extra effort it takes to take off a cap. Like that will turn people off quickly, and that's what
Yeah,
happened with Cam as well. And that's why we went with the clicky, Vanishing Point, the quick
yeah,
draw, because that is something that you kind of have to get used to, and um, it could be a
yep,
make or break for people. So
definitely.
great question. All right. Well, she also asks about ink as well, but sorry, Mom, we're gonna move on to the ink
Pilot,
vent. Yeah,
Roshizuku.
Pilot ink. Um, so with the ink vent calendar, the ink vent has started happening on feeds. And have you seen anything yet as far as
For
past
the
day
ink vent?
one? Yeah.
Yeah, I follow IJing Ink Trail, and in past years, she's done beautiful daily paintings with the ink vent ink colors for each individual day. And I saw that she posted one today. It was a penguin. It was really beautiful. So I think, I definitely have certain people that I love following through the ink vent experience, because I usually do not get one myself, but I like to, vicariously live through others. So IJing Ink Trail is definitely one of my favorites to follow. And there's others too that just do a beautiful job of swatching or doing a nice way of, being able to experience the ink without actually going for it yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I am doing it day by day. I'm always a day ahead
Oh,
though, just
good.
because trying to get out a reel in the morning for the day. So, um, and I haven't been spoiled with the diamine one. So I've really enjoyed day one, and I love seeing all the things that all the swatches that people post and the artwork, like ink trails.
Yes.
That's just insanity. Um, I assume that they do it a little earlier than the
Yeah.
day. What is it? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
I think so too. I think they probably schedule it out because it can be a little, it depends on what your day's like, but it can be a little
Yeah,
overwhelming demand to keep up with that. But
yeah. The Colorverse one I have seen. I've spoiled myself just because I didn't get that. Um, I'm not going to comment on it though because I don't want to spoil it for others. But the first
yeah,
thing
I
is,
mean, yeah, I would love to chat. TC is saying here she's that TC swatched my Colorverse calendar this week. I was off work,
oh wow,
but
the whole
so
thing.
this is the this is the first year that we have, like you said, we're spoiled. Not only do we have one ink vent with the Diamine, but now we have the color vent with Colorverse. And I think we should chat about this for a second
Yeah.
because I think it's really exciting that we have not only one but two now, and some of the differences. So Colorverse, I wrote these down because I think it was really interesting. The Diamine comes with 25 inks, and 24 of them are 12 mil, and then the last day is a 30 mil. And then the Colorverse comes with the 25 inks in 14 mil glass vials. So a little bit bigger, and the glass vials instead. Colorverse ended up being more expensive route to go with. I think it's a combination of, I think that their inks are more expensive in general, but also they're going with slightly larger volume. And I've really enjoyed the Colorverse inks, and I actually have one here to show. This one is actually a 5 mil, so it's not like the 15 mil that you would
Oh
get
yeah, a little
in the ink
baby.
vent, but these are glass vials. They kind of have like a shape like a like an like a drop of ink if you hold it this way. But I've really enjoyed their bottles a ton. But the struggle I have with ink vents myself, or color vents, is you're committing to a large volume of inks all at once. Although I love that they're in small vials because then you get a little bit to sample of everything. But
Yeah.
it's a lot to commit to at once. And I think that if you were like, here's over $100 to spend on ink, I would rather hand pick exactly the colors that I want than, you know, honestly, what do you guys think? Out of like the mix that you get, although it's fun, and I'm sure you get a lot of surprises of inks you wouldn't normally buy that you loved, but like, of what percent of that do you continue to want to
Keep in
use?
love.
You can give them
Yeah.
away and all that too, but that's just the drawback for me, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I'm with you. I'm trying to think of how many from last year's Diamine Infant that I have. And I would say maybe a little over half. I have
Yeah.
gifted
Oh, nice.
half of it. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's kind of why I like the Diamine one better, just because you're dealing with a smaller volume of ink, and so it's more
Yeah.
likely to use it or share it. And
Yes.
yeah, the color vent, though I love their inks and the fact that they are kind of like upping it with like the glass bottles
Yeah.
and all of that. It I wish that it was the small, like the little baby bottle.
Yeah.
I wish they would have
Yeah.
had a 25th. They don't have a 25th.
Oh, yeah. You're right. It's 24.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So TC is giving us the price breakdown, $180 for the color
Yeah.
vent.
And the Diamine one's 120.
Mhm.
I did see some retailers had the color vent on sale, but that might have been just for the holiday, and I think they're sold out already. But I'm gonna put this out into the universe for Colorverse when they do um, their color vent again, hopefully next year. Yeah, I'm with Julia. I would prefer a third of the price and a third of the ink. If they gave
Yeah.
me these little 5 mil bottles
I'm gonna
and 25 or 24 of them, and um, it was a more approachable price, I would definitely I'd go for it on that one. I'd pull the trigger on that because I think these are cute. It's, to me, 5 mils is enough to swatch, dip test it, and then do a full fill on a pen. And to me, that's plenty. So
yeah, and if I like it, if I really like that ink, then I can decide to buy the full bottle, you know, if they come out with the full bottle. I got you, TC and Quince, on this. How do you fill from the 5 mil bottle? A couple of things. So what I do anyways is either use one of these little ink miser things and you just pour it in there and then you can fill from here, or just use the blunt syringe. Pull it out, put it in the converter. You're good.
I am a hardcore syringe filler all day long. Every pen. Okay. Every pen that I could possibly put a syringe into, it's happening. That's just,
it's so much. And I still have ink on my hands all the time, but I feel like I have less if I'm doing it.
It would have been worse. Yes.
For sure. Kristen too, syringe all day.
Yeah, and I definitely have an ink miser too. Those are awesome also. Either way. If I had to pick one or the other though, I generally like the syringe more. I just find it more precise. So absolutely. Less things to clean.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So both of those, the syringe and the ink miser, are great stocking stuffer.
Definitely. Yeah, if you're going to do the syringe, maybe do it in a group that you know people will understand.
Yeah. I recently pen-abled a work colleague, and she was like, okay, how do you clean this? How do you refill it? So I did like a little video for her, and I was like, okay, you have to get a blunt syringe. And she was like a syringe, like in the hospital. I was like, not with the needle though. Like, a blunt syringe, I guess, is not one of those things that you just
I remember when I was new into the hobby and the topic of like a blunt syringe came up, and I was just like,
what is that?
Yeah.
So yeah. What other stocking stuffer ideas do you have for folks?
Yeah. Let's see. We talked about that. Okay, so I think a lot of things that are great for stocking stuffers are accessories that are usable within the hobby. So I have to give props to Esterbrook this year. I think they've done a great job in general, but I think this year they've really like amped up the amount of unique accessories that they're offering. Yeah. So I think they have a lot of great ideas for gifts to give. They have a lot of beautiful brass accessories. They have pen rests. They have the page holders that are brass too. So I feel like those are excellent gifts to give any of your friends. And they've had those. And then newly this year, they added the magnetic pen loop. I don't have one myself. I'm not sure if you got one, Julia.
Yes, I have a couple. But
yeah.
So they can be used as page holders, but also I'm trying to see if I have anything that I can actually show how it works as a pin loop. And it's super luxe feeling.
Feels like plushy.
Yeah, this way. So yeah, you just put the little magnetic clip on there and you have a pin loop there.
Yeah, and honestly, for all the different pen loops we've seen in the industry that go round and round, this is I think has to be one of my favorites. I've heard great things about how strong the magnets are, and it's soft. And yeah, we have someone, Patricia is asking about the strength of it. So I've heard great things, but you use it yourself, so feel free to.
Yeah, I can put it on pretty much, at this point, my planner is super bulky because it's the end of the year. And I've put it on this cover and it's been fine. I've put it on multiple pages and the magnet holds pretty well. Even the super thick bullet journal paper, like that 160 GSM hold together paper and put a pin in it. It's pretty good.
Yep. That's awesome. Yeah. Myself, I really appreciate the product, the accessory, but I just baby my things too much. So I always go with a singular pen case or sleeve or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a terrific idea. So I think it's a great idea for gifting. Like Julie said, whether you're putting a pen in it or you're just using it as a page marker. And then they also came out with the nib cloth. I don't know if you guys have seen these much. That came out with their Back to the Land collection. And I think this is just adorable. Like the fact that they even thought of making this just makes me happy.
Yeah.
But these are super economical, and I don't think you have a single pen friend that wouldn't love getting this as a little gift. But yeah, we've all gotten crusties, or when you are filling your pen and you just need to wipe it. Or just to have in general. It's just one of those things that's really cute and usable. And then they also came out, I think it was last year maybe, but they came out with a bunch of blotters. And some of them have gorgeous illustrations on them too. And I'm just glad to see these back. J. Herbon has had them forever, but I was ready to see these reinvented. I mean, it's still a blotter. There's nothing like magnificently new about it. Yeah, but it's just fresh with a modern look to them. That's like, hey, blotters are still very applicable. And so whether you're using it to, dab with your pen or put between pages when things aren't dry yet. I use them often to put my hand down on my paper when I'm writing, so that I don't get like hand oils on my paper at the bottom of the page. But these come in a pack, and they come in different illustrations and things. This is kind of a vintage vibe one. So yeah, Esterbrook has been doing really great.
I'm like, here, what do
Yes.
I have? Yeah, these are gorgeous.
Yes. So it's so beautiful that you want to use the back to blot.
Yeah. Yeah. The nib cloth as well, like as a trap, like taking it with you to the pen meetups, the pen shows.
Yes.
I want to get a second one actually, just to put it on different little pouches and things, because it's so great. Right. You have a meow? You have a kitty cat?
Yeah. I think he hears me talking and he's like, oh, we're having a conversation.
Yeah. Like, I have something to say about the blotter.
Really.
I'm with you, TC. I'm starting to do this too. Like, if I find a notebook or something that I'm writing in and it doesn't have a blotter paper in it, I'm like, no, it must have one in there at all times. Love it.
That's one thing I love about the Galen Leather everyday notebooks too, that they come with a leather blotter. So it's like, I guess some of the notebooks come with the insert pages. If it's like a blank notebook, it comes with an insert for lines that you could use for a blotter, but it's not really meant for that. It's not the same. So yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen Esterbrook's writing bundle?
I did, but I'd love to hear more about it, because I saw it and I looked into it a little bit, but I don't thoroughly know all the details.
Yeah, I need more details myself. I am getting one tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, they're sending one over, and so I'll have a little bit more like hands-on experience with it, and I will be giving it away. But from what I could gather, when you order an SD with them, and this is throughout December, you get like a little, I heard my friend Alexandra call it a puffer jacket sleeve, but it's like,
perfect.
Yeah, it's just like a little.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
A little arm thing. It comes with what else? Some stickers, a notebook with some really nice artwork. Again, they're killing it with the visuals. And then there is something in there that's like some sort of practice paper that you can wash or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. It's like a
I'm so curious.
reusable cursive practicing page. So it looks like you should be able to like trace the cursive lettering and then somehow wash and reuse the tracing paper. So if I understood the information correctly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it looks so interesting. I'm interested to get my hands on it because they've
yeah.
been kind of with the materials. I don't know if you saw, they had like a brown, like a tote bag, but it looked like a paper bag, but the
I
paper bag was
did.
washable.
I definitely wanted to pick one of those up at one of the shows I was at, but they didn't have them, at least at the show I was going to. So, but yeah, those are great. I heard that you can, it's reusable in the sense of like you can even wash it, like put it through the washing cycle. And I mean, that's great. That's one of the nice things about having something reusable that you can actually wash, because otherwise you kind of have to like pat it with a white cloth or something like that.
Yeah.
So it looks great. I've seen similar bags like from Trader Joe's and things like that, and they're actually really sturdy. They don't feel like craft paper like that you could tear. They actually feel very resilient.
Nice.
So yeah, I love that they're coming up with all this stuff. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. If you can get your hands on it, it's a really good idea too.
Yeah, and they
Love
can
it.
even have mugs now. So
Mugs
I
too.
love it.
Oh,
Yeah, they
nice.
come out with some kind of mug. So that has just like the whatever this Esterbrook logo version is called, like this old school
Yeah.
logo. But yeah, go Esterbrook.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. It's great to see companies. Ferris Wheel Press is another one too that does a lot of accessories. But yeah, there's this big kind of gap that I'm sure lots of people would love to have filled with, like all these things that we can accessories that we can really use in our hobby, and to not have to like seek out something to make do when it's being actually provided by a company in the industry is fantastic.
Yeah, we are crazy. We, as in the fountain pen community, when it comes to like reaching over to the medical field to get accessories, or the dental field, or I think Wendy Sue, I don't know, from Fountain Pen News, she uses like this big medical vial filler that like
Oh,
you
I
can type
mean, we're gonna
in
do what
like
we got to do.
5 milliliters, and it'll suck up 5 milliliters, and it's awesome. But yeah, ooh, we got another good one in the comments. Swatch
That is
card.
a very good one. Yeah, that's a really good recommendation. And I have to say, I've been considering switching I've been using coloring for my swatch, for my ink swatching, and they've been fine, but I've been wanting to switch to something that shows the ink properties off better. And I got a little shared sample of wearing gold swatch cards from a pen friend, and they're definitely the performance is really nice. So I think I'll be switching to wearing gold in 2025. So yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I haven't tried the Wearingle ones yet. I have the ones that look like Polaroid frames on my wish list, but
Yeah, I think you'll like them. I mean, for me, part of the swatching is I want to see the unique properties of the ink. So not just the color itself, but how well it shades, if it has chromo shading, how well of a shader it is in general. And it even helps the shimmer pop more, because the more that ink lives on the surface, the more you're going to see these properties. So yeah, that's a really good call with the wearing gold cards.
nice.
I like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, you mentioned Ferris Wheel Press, so we have
Yeah.
to go into. They have some smaller things that are great for stocking stuffers and for Secret Santa gifts as well.
For sure. And I love small volumes of ink. So anytime there's a company that offers a small volume ink in general. I'm very appreciative of that. So we talked about Colorverse. I know J. Herbon comes with like small vials also sometimes in the glass, but Ferris Wheel Press just came out with their small 10 mil vials. These are a new offering. So I think this is perfect for gifting and just trying a smaller volume of ink for yourself also. And they're really nice glass vials.
Are they
And
glass?
then,
Wow.
yeah, they are. They're glass. They have a really nice, what would you say, like sticker, I guess, over it that has like the illustration that you would expect from Ferris
Mhm.
Wheel Press and the description of the ink and all that. But they're certainly not as maybe glamorous as the ink chargers, which is the next one up.
Yeah.
So the ink chargers come in a 3-pack like this. And the packaging is beautiful. On the back, it shows what the ink color is. The only thing I don't care for much with the Ferris Wheel Press chargers is that little kind of rubber gasket. Is kind
Mhm.
of finicky to deal with. But as far as stocking stuffer goes and just getting inks for yourself, I think this is a phenomenal
Yeah.
gift. I think people really enjoy those. And they came out with that new dabbler pen. Did you see that?
Oh, it's like a brush. Like,
Yeah,
yes, but I have not seen it in action.
yeah, neither have I. Myra's asking about the price range. So these are $8 to $10, depending on if it's which collection it's from, the everyday inks or the what's the name of the other category?
Fairy
It's not coming to me
tale?
right now. Fairy tale. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then the ink chargers, the 3 set is 15. So yeah, they're nice. The nice option. So yeah, the dabblers just came out. I haven't seen much about them yet, but it's like basically a reusable pen that you can use fountain pens ink in that comes in like I think it's you pick one of. They should have just done it as a combo, but extra fine like a 0.5 millimeter, 0.8, or a brush tip, like you were saying.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, for people that like doing art and stuff like that, and they want to be able to use their fountain pen inks, I think it's a nice option for
Cool.
sure. And then, of course, they have their carriages. And I think these are gorgeous gifts. This
Yeah.
is the ink carriage that you would use for like the 38 mil bottles. I think these are the most common. I would say what people get more often than not. And then just recently, like a couple weeks ago, they came out with this one for the round sized bottles, this ink carriage. And I think they're so beautifully made.
Oh, so
Um,
cute.
they're charming. They're absolutely darling, and just in function, but also just I love having them on my desk as decor. I think it just like ups your desk setup, and it makes the whole like your environment more pleasing for your hobby. You know, you just
Yeah,
enjoy it when you have all these pretty things around you. So
absolutely. And I love that they just like when a theme is carried throughout, I'm just like, yes. And so you have
yes,
the Ferris wheel carousel on the carriage. I don't know about the this newer one. It gives science. I love it. But like
yeah.
it
It
glows.
took me a while to figure this out, but I guess it's meant to be like the old style globes.
Hmm.
So that's what they're, and you can actually tilt it like this too. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't like plug into their branding as tightly as like the Ferris wheel one does. But when you're dealing with like, okay, we have a sphere bottle. Let's think of a unique kind of elegant way to present it. As far as that goes, I give them a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. And the other one I was thinking about too is their inkwells. And I mean, the aesthetic of Ferris Wheel Press is unbeatable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the quality is also fantastic of all these accessories. Like they're made of metal. This is brass and glass. So they're really, really gorgeous. And I think they make great gifts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's graphic designer person here, and I just appreciate the packaging and the thought
Yeah.
that goes into, I think all of the packages are different. They're custom
Yes.
illustrated, and it makes it hard to throw away the bottle or the boxes. I display them, but yeah.
Yeah, like this is the one for the ink well, so that's beautifully done. And then like on the side here, you can see that they have the little carousels of the horses and stuff. Like, so yeah, everything is very beautifully presented and everything feels very luxurious. So yeah. Yes, all the pretty
Absolutely.
things.
Right on. And TC says that Monteverde has rollerball pens with cartridges for ink.
Oh.
I haven't seen the Monteverde one. I know Kakamori has one as well, where
Hmm.
you can, it's like a frosted one and you can put fountain pen ink in their pens. Ferris Wheel Press has one as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. That's a way to get people pin-abled too. If they're scared with the nib, but you want
Yeah,
to get
that's very
them
true.
in the door with the ink and everything, like one of those rollerball. I think the Ferris Wheel Press one is called the Roundabout that you can
Okay.
put in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Right
cool.
on. Let's see. What do we got for other? This reminds me.
Yes, let's talk about the ink muddler.
Indeed. All right.
So
So
this is the ink
like you
muddler
have
from
a whole one. So you go.
the ink muddler from Dominant Industry. And these are quite new. And I have to not forewarn, forward to people that they're quite petite. Yeah. Because it's kind of hard when you see it online to kind of imagine what size that they come in. I'm trying to see. Let's see. Okay, here's my preppy. So there.
Happy for
It's
sale.
it's yeah, it's a bit small. But they're so great for gifting because and that and the I just love that we have a muddler finally on one side. Kakamori makes one also, but I think it's quite pricey. I think it was like $60 or $70, something like that.
Yeah.
So these are so approachable. $15. So you have on one side the glass dip nib, and you can see that the ink reservoir on the glass part goes up quite far. So you could actually get like a really generous amount of ink out of this to be held and written with. How was the writing experience for you, Julia?
I liked it quite a bit. I thought it was relatively smooth. Like
Hmm.
I would say on par with the higher, like not the super high end glass dip pens, but any of the glass dip pens that I've used before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a great entry level. Like it's definitely not going to be as buttery as like some of the upper Japanese made,
Mhm.
more expensive. Like you get what you pay for, but I think for this price point, you really can't beat it. As long as you're okay with something that's like travel sized and compact, right? Like if you find um, it clumsy to work with something this small, then perhaps you wouldn't prefer something this size. But I love that you can dip this, like do a little ink swatch, and then clean it off and use the other side to. So for ink swatching on the go, I this is now like permanently part of my ink swatching go pack because it's so small, and if something were to happen to it, I wouldn't be heartbroken because I know that I can replace it very economically.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great gift. It's really fun. I think it's something that people get excited about.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we are swatching people. Um, and so yeah, I did break mine. It just rolled right off of my desk. So
No.
um, maybe a little hump on it for a stopper would be nice for a
Oh,
clumsy
you know
piece.
what they should do? Oh, maybe that's what they needed to do. maybe if they make the muddler a little bit wider, it would keep it from rolling.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would fix this. But I still love, like, I have this, this was like, when you pour alcohol out of the spout and you have like the little rubber stopper, it fit perfectly on this. And so now I just use it as a muddler for my ink directory. All of the swatches are done with this, and I love it. I love this little thing.
I like it a lot too.
Yeah. I should get another one though.
Yeah, I mean, you know, put it on your holiday list.
Yeah, my wish list.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. So yeah, compared to like a J. Herbon glass tip pen, that would be the other option for like an entry level one, because glass tip nibs are not as accessible as I think they should be in the industry. I think that there are a lot of other dip nibs that are more popular, although I'm happy to see those too, like the Hokuro that came out. I really like that too, but there's something extra fancy about a glass dip nib.
Yeah. And again, it's with the aesthetic thing. It looks really cool on your desk.
Yeah. It's just a fun, enjoyable thing. So I think that makes a fantastic gift.
Yeah. This kind of moves out of, just briefly, out of the stocking stuffer. Well, unless you have a bigger stocking. But Dominant Industry also has the coloring book that I've only done one in so far, but they're just so much fun as a way to
That's
use
so
ink.
beautiful.
Yeah,
so is there a little spot to document what inks you're using on the side there? Okay,
there's
perfect.
little squares here, and then
cute.
like some lines. I don't know if it wants you to do that or to write stories, but yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's there's so many pages and different illustrations that are all like ocean themed. And then the back, I just noticed there is like a place to document inks as well.
Nice.
So
cool. Tell me a little bit about the paper. How do you like the paper?
The paper is interesting. So I don't have a fully formed opinion yet because I've only
you just started it. Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, but it is different. It is, you know, ink friendly. It doesn't bleed or anything. I would say I used a lot of ink on that, but you know, I wouldn't write a novel on this paper. I will say that.
I think that's the thing, is that they had to keep in mind that people are using it as a coloring book, so they're going to be more generous on the ink application, and so it has to hold up for that. It has to be almost like leaning toward the watercolor paper quality, probably something in the mid range there. So, but I'm glad you mentioned that, because those are great gifts. That's like something that also, if I got, I would be like, awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
I have lots of inks I can use in this.
Operation use all the ink.
Yeah, because it's a great way to.
No, sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good.
Smaller ones too, because the smaller ink volumes, so I can like explore more ink versus having a ton of one color. I guess there's just so many inks.
Yeah, but yeah, the coloring book's a good idea too, because I think we start building a relationship with these inks, and outside of writing with them, it's another way to enjoy the ink color and the property on like a bigger scale. Because sometimes, myself especially, I use extra fine nibs a lot, so you don't always get to enjoy the ink attributes in your writing experience to the fullest. So this is another way just to kind of use and celebrate the things that we love about these inks, I think. So I love it. I think that's a great idea.
The paler colors, because I usually don't write with the pale colors, and so
like the pastel,
more fun to color with.
Yeah, those are very beautiful, but they can be a little bit difficult to appreciate sometimes if you don't have a really broad or wet writer. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
And those are a very approachable price point too. I think they were $22. So it's another, that's why it's on the list. It's a great gift idea for sure.
Absolutely. Have you seen, let's see, we have a list. So the inky converters, are these the ones that or is that the brand? Please tell me, because I'm thinking about the converters
Yeah,
that have like paint on them, but I could totally be off.
yeah. So we've been talking about some of the larger brands that we all know and love, but I wanted to put a couple of small companies to give some TLC to that come up with really great ideas, especially for gifts. So Inky Converters, I saw at the San Francisco Pen Show for the first time, and they have a lot of small fountain pen related accessories. So they have tons of beautiful washi, pins that are like ink related, stickers, notepads. I actually got, let me reach for it here. I actually got this from them. Sorry, there's a glare, but it's a sticker release book.
I love those.
So my sticker collection, I usually was keeping in my traveler's notebook, passport. You know, they have the sticker release books. Well, I was getting really full, and so when I saw this larger size, I was just like, yes, thank you. Actually, have
A5?
your stickers. Yeah, because I actually have a lot of your stickers in there too, like the I like mine extra fine.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes you get stickers that you love, and I like to enjoy them, having them, and sometimes I'm not quite sure like where I'm going to put them, and I want to be purposeful about them. So
Yeah.
I'll keep them in like a sticker release book until it finds that perfect place to live, and then off they go. Or if I just want to flip through it just to enjoy the creations that people have come up with that I enjoy looking at. It just triggers back lots of memories where you get these stickers from. So
Oh yeah.
they have, yeah. So Inking Converters has a lot of great accessories like that. I picked up some really beautiful washi from them too. I'll grab one here. It's upside down. There you go. So it has like ink and then a pen, some watercolor stuff.
Nice.
I just thought it was really fun, and it's kind of a metallic. I don't know if that's coming up very well, but so yeah, they have lots of fun things. If you just want to get a little idea of some accessories or assortments that are unique but stick to they make most of their stuff is themed around fountain pens and ink. So that's what I think is really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Another one too is Stationery Universe.
Tori, I have one of hers in my drawer too.
Oh yay! I thought, yeah, I love that. Yes, mine is like quite brand
Oh
new. I
yeah.
think I have
This
one
is
little
my new
spot on it.
paper towel.
It won't last long. But this is um, described as like a buffing or cleaning cloth. So one side is, very smooth, and the other side is like a microfiber kind of. But yeah, I have the same idea. Is like if you're just needing somewhere to wipe, that's handy. It's almost like our nib cloth, but on a bigger scale.
Yeah. Okay, so what about the slick side? What do you do with that typically?
I think that if I was going to clean my fountain pen, I would probably on occasion clean the outside and just kind of give it a little buff to get,
Oh
because
yeah.
we have fingerprints and things on them, and it doesn't hurt to give them a little spit and shine every once in a while.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I think that that's what that's for. But even if only one side was going to be used, I still really dig this. So
Yeah.
yeah. Um, let's see. Another one I wanted to mention was Nicole Josephine. She's actually from Canada, and I met her at the stationery show in Toronto. And she makes a lot of really gorgeous things, so do check them out. But one I really wanted to mention, it's one of my favorite accessories. It's a brass clip for your notebook.
Oh yeah.
And it's an acorn with beautiful like forest decor, and pretty much her whole shop is forest themed. Washies. I think she has a sticker release also notebook, and she has other brass accessories too, like page markers. But this is literally my favorite clip because I like that it's a matte gold finish. I love the decor on it. She didn't actually even brand it. The other side's plain, and the clip let me see if I can show this. The clip side itself is kind of flared, so it doesn't leave any dents in your
Nice.
paper.
It looks
So
pretty
I really
beefy
like that.
too.
It is really nice. Yeah, and I've tried a lot of different brass clips. I have. So that's my favorite one. So she also has like clear stamp sets. I really like those also. And while we're talking about clear stamp sets, I've gotta mention the Everyday Explorers Co. I picked this up at I think it was San Fran too, and I really like these. TC is mentioning Eric Small Things also. That's a
Oh
really
yeah.
that's a good call too. Yeah, another small company that makes excellent items.
The cutest little icon designs.
Yeah, I love them. And I was going to say too, when we talk about clear stamps, um, this has been one of my favorite brands for stamp pads. And this is their standard full size, but look at this cute little mini one. So if you want like something for on the go or just a little gift for someone, like they have a lot of different colors. These work fantastic. And I think it's great that they come in mini because then you can just give someone a little gift like that.
Lovely. Are those waterproof as well? Do you know?
I've used fountain pen ink over them,
Okay,
so I'm gonna say yeah, yeah.
right on.
I can't. It's kind of, I've never actually looked up all the details on what is said on the back here, but so I'm not completely I don't want to say like yes they are waterproof, but I
Well,
can say that
if you used
yeah.
ink on top, that's
I
get
think we're
yourself
good,
a
but I don't want to be like, yeah, they're waterproof. Yeah, I've used them for my swatching, like I'll stamp, some of these ink bottles and stuff, and done a swatch of ink right over it, and they don't shift at all. So,
nice.
yeah,
Cool. TC's talking about Everyday Explorers stamps. Always get asked about them when I do my swatch spreads. Yeah. Also, Christine, who is the owner there, has a graphic design background. So,
oh, does she?
like, yeah, shout out to her. Her stickers are so well designed. The stamps are great. I will always shout out some good design. So,
Yes.
yeah, I love her
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely.
All right. I think oil based. Oh, yeah. So Patricia's saying that they're oil based, so at least water resistant. And I think
Okay.
as a newbie in the stamp space, like that is super important to me because not all the stamps I have mostly are fountain pen and ink related, and I'm going to put
same.
ink on top of them. So,
Yep.
yeah. Right
Yeah, I
on.
can't say enough about the quality of these though. The ink itself works really well, but the pad works really well too. And I've tried a couple different brands before I got these, so yeah, I love them. I think they're great. And then the little mini one's good too.
My little wish list is just growing.
Growing and growing. You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
And if you guys have ideas too, pop them in the comments because I'm sure this could be a never-ending list. But it's always fun to, you find these great little things out in our hobby, and it's great to share them.
Yeah, and good thing like before Christmas because I feel like typically I learn about all of these things like after Christmas, like when people are showing things and I'm like, oh,
Oh,
put
like what
that
they
on my wish
got.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to wait till next year.
Yeah. And I'll forget about it and more things will come out by then. Squirrel. So TC is asking, Galen, do the ink pads bleed on more river paper?
I didn't have that issue. I actually used it right here.
Oh, nice.
And I think that's pretty crisp.
And you use it on both sides of the paper too. That's a big deal.
Just one.
Okay.
Oh, bleed like through the other side.
Mm-hmm. No,
I
not
mean,
really.
not more than the ink does.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
a little ghost ink. Nice.
yeah.
Cool. So we have to also talk about pen cases. That's a big thing. I know I got Cam a pen case, like a pen
Oh,
case for Christmas. And so
you're like,
yeah,
yeah,
in the next room.
that's good.
So yeah, pen cases are a super great gift. I
Yeah.
recently came back from the Chicago Planner Conference, and Rickshaw was there, and they're just nice people
Oh,
in general.
cool. Good for
But
them.
they have like, so I got
Oh,
this,
yay.
which they had these at Stationery Fest, but they went away so quickly that I didn't even get to lay eyes on them.
I didn't even see them either.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went quick.
So I was very happy to get this little 2-pin sleeve, and the
I love
inside
that.
is so plushy, and it's like
Yeah,
a little nice bed for
I love
pens.
it.
So I
Yeah,
love
I've really loved that Rickshaw has been doing a bunch of collabs with various companies. Like they've always done some collabs, but they've been doing more with smaller companies. And like this one's really fun. They have like a whole setup with the Abby C and Job. Sorry, Job.
yeah. Yeah, and they have roll like 10 rolls. They have of course the thing that I'm thinking about is in the next room, but it's like a thing where you zip around, you open it, and you have slots for 6 pins and a
Yes.
pocket in front. And in that pocket in the front, you can pop in like a 2-pin sleeve. I don't know. It's just really great quality. Um,
Yes.
oh, I think
Um,
TC's got me on this one. The Sinclair. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's
what it's called.
beautiful. I really like to, when we're talking about gifting, they have this single pen sleeve, which who would ever not want another single pen sleeve? Like, but they actually have an option too where you can get a loop on them,
Oh,
and it comes with a lanyard. And I think I put mine in like my pen show go bag, so I wasn't able to grab it out in time. But basically, it just clips onto this little extra loop, and then you can wear it around your neck with your lanyard. And this is one of my favorite things when I go to a pen club meetup or a show, for those of you that like doing those events too, because then you have your pen like ready to go when you want to write notes about whatever things you're eyeing and making a list or something,
mhm.
or whatever. It's always good to have a pen on hand. And you can actually, so you can buy it with the lanyard, and the lanyards are really nice. I would definitely recommend that. But you can also just add on a loop to a future pen sleeve so that you don't need to have multiple lanyards. So I thought that was very diligent and thoughtful of them. And
Wow.
you can get lots of designs. So they have like pen show exclusives or collabs with smaller companies, and various fabrics like Harris tweed too. So I think it's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, the White Bear Pens one.
That one's really
Oh
beautiful.
my God, super cute. And how cool of them to work with a maker that's new and, budding and all of that. So
Yeah.
that's super cool. Indeed. I'm trying to think what else I have from Rickshaw. Just check out Rickshaw. They're awesome.
I got a Fillmore this year. So if you guys are familiar with the Sinclair, it opens from the top, and then you would access your pens only from the top. Like it just opens this way. So the Sinclair is a new model this year that opens all the way like a book. And I have a 3-pen one inside that, but it will hold um, 3 on each side. So 6, and then there's an extra sleeve for a notebook, but I just chose to put 2 more pens
Yeah,
additionally
of course.
inside that. Of course. I told myself when I got it, oh yeah, I'll probably put a notebook there. And then the reality is like, yeah, right. You have way more pens than you have notebooks.
I will say those don't, and they don't bulk up. They don't feel like crazy bulky. It's so
No.
nice.
Yeah, and to think you have 9 pens in there, and I could fit more if I wanted to. And I like that no one's touching each other. Everyone's being very cordial to one another. They're all divided, and they're all within their little plush. So, and same thing with these two. This would be plush double-sided, and then on these it's just the one side, and then the other side is like a more of a mesh fabric.
Yeah.
But yeah, the quality is phenomenal, and I love the that it's a small company. Like it's so nice to be able to support small companies like that too. So I love it.
Absolutely. Here we go. Yeah, the Sinclair is similar to the Bible cover carriers I get on Amazon for my journal, but cozier and better quality. Yeah, the quality is very great, and
Very good.
Yeah, love the plush.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was talking earlier about my wish list, and
Yeah.
so I know I've mentioned on the channel a few times, like, oh, my mother-in-law got me this pen, and it is to spec like what I like. And I like our family uses this service called Elfster. I don't know if anyone else has heard of this, but so you can like go in and add, add things that you want. I actually have a Google Chrome extension. So anytime I'm on a page and I'm like, oh, this
Oh my
would be a good
goodness.
fit, I'll just click the button and it'll add it to my Elfster. And so people that have my link can see all of the things that I have on there. You can write in notes like fine nib or this colorway.
Okay.
But you can also see, not me, I can't see it, but you can see if somebody's already purchased it. And
okay.
Yeah, so it makes it easy for Christmas. It has changed like the last 2 or 3 years. It's changed how we've done Christmas. You know, you're not going to get anything that you don't love or want. Sometimes it's hard to shop for people, especially after you've been around them for some years. You're like, what am I going to get them this year? Last year was hard. So this
I love that.
So easy.
Yes. And then you don't have to pretend like you love your gifts because you really will.
Yeah. And pens are hard. Like everyone knows that I really love pens. They know I have the channel, all of this. Like they want to get me a pen, but they have no idea. Like what is what. And so it just makes it easy.
Well, even like within your pen friends, like if you had to gift me a pen, would you even like, you'd probably figure out like something that's safe enough that, but it's really hard to know, especially if people aren't constantly talking about what's on their radar. So yeah, I think that's fantastic. I hadn't heard of that. So that's a good idea. I like that. I know there's like an Amazon wish list that you can share publicly, but I didn't know that something like that existed. I like that. And I like that, like you said, you could just add it while you're browsing.
Mm-hmm.
That would fill up like in no time.
I every now and then again, I'll go through and just like take off things. It's a way to also curb my spending, to just be like, this is my wish list. I'm just going to add it there. And I feel like I have it. And then, after a few months, I might go back and be like, I kind of don't want that anymore.
Yeah, let it sit.
Yeah.
See how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. So what's on your wish list?
I actually got some of the things that were on my wish list that I wasn't really expecting to. This is the thing, like you always have things in your mind that you're like, one day I'd like to get this, or when the opportunity arises or whatever. But we've been having Fountain Pen Day and Black Friday sales, which is a great opportunity to jump on some things that have been on your wish list. So I did order kind of a big purchase that was on my wish list, but I kind of don't talk about them until they're physically in my hand. And I've had time with it. It's really ironic because I've gotten pens used and brand new that have had problems and I had to return them, like surprisingly enough. And sometimes they're not replaceable. Like for instance, I got the Moroccan mint tea last year, and I got one with a defective. The nib and feed had a defect to them where it was like leaking ink through the face of the nib. So I had to send it back, unfortunately, after trying to see if I could get it to work and all that. And when I sent it back, then there weren't any more available for purchase. So you can like hunt them down, I know, but they're not like readily abundantly available to get. So now I'm kind of like, I've got a little scar on me from that. So now, like when I get the pen and I've had it for, a couple of weeks and I know it's all good, then I'm like, I got it. Until then, it's not official.
Yeah.
Because then I'll be like, oh, remember that thing I said I got? Well, I don't. But I'll just say it's an Italian pen. So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess.
You can guess. Yeah, go for
it. Is it this? Well, I'm not gonna say is it, but my guess is the Stilo Estile, like clear and gold.
That's a really good guess. I actually did get it from Stilo Estile, but it's not that pen.
Oh.
Yeah, it is white though.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I also ordered with Sterling Ink for Black Friday. So that's another thing I got off my wish list.
Nice.
I got a calendar and I got a notebook from them, and I really have enjoyed their products. I got their calendar last year for my passport insert. I got the common planner last year, and this year I decided just to get the monthly insert instead. And I just like having my notebook separate. I tried it. I liked it, but I think I still prefer just having like that way I can just take one out and take it with me and not commit to like, it's not like huge, but it's a bit chunky. So I'm just going to try it, see how it goes and see which one I prefer. But I love their products. And so they were having the Black Friday sale, I think, is still going on if anyone wants to jump on that. But yeah, I picked up some stuff there. So I was happy about that. And I'm like very readily stocked on all their stickers, so I resisted buying more.
I feel like I did pretty good with the Black Friday stuff this year because Fountain Pen Day was not just a few weeks ago, and so got some things for Fountain Pen Day, and the only thing I got during Black Friday time was paper at Papermind. So we had a previous conversation about the possible crisis in the paper realm in the community. And so I really love Cosmo Airlight. And I just grabbed a couple of those ring notebooks while they were on sale and some other paper that I hadn't heard of. It sounds like Bonkers, but I don't think it's called Bonkers.
That would be cool if it was, though.
Yeah, I want some Bonkers paper, please.
I like it. It has a good ring to it.
I want to run and see what it's called really quick. Blocker. It's called Blocker paper.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I kind of like your name.
So yeah, other than that, and I got some nail polish, which isn't related, but
I was gonna say, are they Esterberg? No. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I actually was quite well behaved too. I mean, the big purchase took out the allotted amount for shopping. So I think it'll be good.
Nice. We also have someone wants that Delta Duna Happiness. That's a pretty one. It's popped up a lot on the Atlas. They do their experience pen sales once a month where they like auction off it's not really an auction, but
They auction the opportunity to purchase.
Yeah, there we go. At a steep discount. And there's been a
Yes.
lot of those Delta Duna happinesses on there.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the Atlas, what was it called? The Experience Pen sale. Yeah.
Mhm.
You should. I hopped on that just because I wasn't familiar with it, and it was like quite entertaining just to watch, even if
Yeah,
even if you don't end up buying anything. You can actually view what's going to be up for sale ahead of time, right, Julia?
yeah.
Yeah.
They
So,
posted on their Instagram, on the Discord, and I think that's it.
and I think that's such a
Mhm.
good idea because it takes the pressure off. That way, you know what's coming, and you know that you don't have to be there for the entire time, and you know when you have to be ready to submit if you're going to, instead of just like you have no time to think if otherwise, right?
Yeah, I've gotten a
That would actually
few
be funny.
pins before
Have
they
you?
implemented that rule, and yeah, luckily they've all turned out fine. Like
Oh,
this,
good.
what is this? Diplomat Excellence A2 is one of my favorites this year now, but at the time I was just like, oh, I just got swept away in the madness.
Excitement of it all. Yeah. The madness, yes.
But yeah, super fun. Does anyone have any? Oh, hold on. Just got the Pelican 605 tortoiseshell grail pin for me. Ooh, gorgeous. Love a pelican.
Well, congrats on knocking off a bunch of
Yeah,
pens on your wish list this year. That's awesome.
absolutely. I think the nail polish led to ink obsession. Yep. I just love color.
Oh, that's an interesting correlation. Yeah, I can see
Pipeline.
that. Unique names, unique colors.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Some of them have glitter in them. Love it. Nice. All right.
You know, they should have more of like an ink bar. I know Yoseka has something like that, but wouldn't it be cool if you could bring in your fountain pen and like ink it with whatever ink, even if there was like a sample charge?
Yeah. I
Although
would.
there's not really that many retailers super close to any of us, really. You know, you're very fortunate if you have a retailer close to you. But
Very true. Yeah. I'm gonna try to start early next year. Not a store, but a pen journal meetup something here
oh,
because
cool.
I am super rural and I've mentioned my pen dealer before that's right around the corner.
Yes.
I've ran into a now a friend, but a local shop who is trying to get either Lami's or Twisby's in a shop. So I'm like, there's interest around here. There's
Yeah.
opportunities. So um, I'm excited to see where that goes next year for sure.
So does your dealer deal with vintage pens exclusively?
Not exclusively. That's kind of his bread and butter. He repairs a lot, and he's also a
Oh.
distributor for Pilot for Pelican.
Oh.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's dangerous. Having that at your fingertips.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, but it's mostly vintage. He does a lot of the shows on the circuit,
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, ink pen. It's Joel Hamilton. He's awesome.
Okay. Oh, nice. Very cool.
Indeed. All
Yeah, I
right.
like that you have a mix of vintage and modern. I like having both. They both have something very unique to offer.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm not too far in the vintage rabbit hole, but I do enjoy it and it makes me a little I'm careful with my pens, but something about the vintage pen, I'm just like, this is sacred.
Yeah.
This has history. So
They do best in the house. Like, one, you
yeah,
don't have to worry about like dropping it or something like that. But also, in my experience, especially the older the pen, the older the vintage, the more they tend to spritz and release ink in their cap when jostled.
yeah,
So that I kind of learned that the hard way in traveling with some vintage pens that I've gotten. And now I've just decided they're just gonna stay home. Like, I might take them on a pen meetup or something like that that's more low key, that I can make sure that this is stayed upright and it doesn't get moved
right,
around too much. But like on flights and things like that, it's just a mess. It's not really
yeah,
worth it. I mean, nothing like horrendous, not like ink got spilled all over my bag or anything like that. Just like, you unscrew your cap and there's like quite a bit
right,
of ink in there. So
yeah.
it's not the end of
You
the
know
world, but it's kind of annoying.
what pen I had the worst time traveling with, on multiple occasions? The Magna Carta Mag 600.
Mm.
And I am very careful about taking my pens out in the airplane. I'll put it in front of me in the seat pocket in front of me, and like I'm super particular about flying with pens. But every time this Mag 600 just like flirts everywhere. I've taken it out at a pen show after forgetting that it does this. Poor guy at Good Made Better. I took out my pen to show another girl that was wanting to see it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's great." And I take it out to go right with it, and it like goes over his stuff.
Oh
It just
no.
flirts everywhere, and I'm just like, "I am so sorry." And there's no ink in the converter anymore. It's just
Oh
like, yeah.
no. It
So yeah, I've
drained itself,
2 or
huh?
3 times
Whoa.
now with that pen, so, hot
It's on the
hot
banned
tip.
list. No more travel for you.
Yeah, no, ink it when you get there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's one way around it. It's just like, make
Yeah.
sure it's empty when you're in transit. You did a really nice video on Instagram. I think it was a story on, or a reel. I'm not sure. I guess it was a reel on traveling with your pens.
Yeah,
I
it's a
loved
highlight
that. And
on
yeah, you hit all the points, because I remember it got posted. I'm like, oh, this will be good. And then I was like, yep, you hit every single like point that we all need to think about. And like you said, you're very cautious about it. Like, I don't usually put my pens in the little net thing in front to make sure,
Mhm.
because I usually, I don't even know what I put in there, but I put other things. So but yeah, that works. No, that's great. If you guys haven't seen that yet, and it's a really helpful, make sure like checklist when you're traveling, to make sure all your pens are like good to go.
Yeah, for
And
sure,
it's
yeah.
not really as stressful as some people think it is. It's not. Like, travel with your pens, it's not a big deal. It really isn't.
No, and I'm sure if you had a bunch of vintage pens, I'm sure it would be a little more stressful because they are a little more sensitive to movement.
Yeah,
But,
definitely.
yeah, for the most part,
I
I think modern pens are easy.
I think what it is, this is a suspicion, but with your Mag 600, and that's with the flex nib, yeah?
Mhm,
Okay. And with the vintage pens, yours has an ebonite feed, right?
mhm.
Yeah. And so does the vintage pens. And I think the feed, or like the fins, are not only are they ebonite, but I think they're bigger to accommodate the ink delivery being more
Mhm.
generous. And I think that's my suspicion, my highest suspicion on why those misbehave the most in those circumstances, is I think they just have a lot of ink right there at the tip, at the feed, and it just keeps going.
Yeah, I think no, I think you're onto something with that because I was thinking, I was like, oh, they always say that the Mag 600 is like vintage pens,
Yeah.
and it's a flex nib, so more ink. Huh.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's possible.
Yeah. Someone
Yep.
that knows more than we do. Yeah. Well, right on. We are right at time. I just wanted to see if anybody else had any other questions or any thoughts when it comes to what's out there now, the holiday gift rush. Totally forgot to
Yeah.
mention the new Twisby too. That new
Oh yeah.
Twisby. It's beautiful. Check it out.
Yeah, I will. I will check it out because I haven't seen it yet. So I always like keeping up with what's being released, what's new, even in brands that I'm not particularly fond of sometimes. It's just I like keeping up with what everyone's up to because
Yeah.
it's interesting to see the direction that the hobby's taking in general, and whether it's a big company or a small company. But so yeah, feel free to share them in the comments, you guys, the things that some of your favorite items for gift giving or your wish list, good stocking stuffers. We'll have fun reading them for sure.
Absolutely. And Kristen earlier asked about putting some of the links to the things that we talked about down in the description for our replay people. And yeah, we can do that.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And Fountain Pendulum carries Ferris Wheel Press now.
Yes. Yeah, we're very pleased to be offering Ferris Wheel Press. They're in Toronto and quite local to us. And the brand aligns really nicely. So feel free to check out the shop for the items that we'll have. But if you're looking for little gifts or wood desk accessories for yourself or others, check them out. And yeah, we'll definitely link to the items that we've been discussing also.
All right. Cool. Thank you guys for hanging out. Be sure to check out Galen's channel as well. And thank you. Let's both the channels. Awesome.
Yay, thank you.
All right. And hopefully we'll be able to do this a little more, even if it's just popping in to gossip about what's new. And yeah.
Yeah. It would be fun to do one about nibs sometime too, because I know we're both nib nerds for sure. You do quite a bit of grinding, and I haven't done so much of the grinding, but I'm definitely like more into nibs than I am into like the aesthetic of the pen itself.
Gotcha.
Although I can appreciate that certainly too. So, and getting custom nib grinds, I know we're both quite heavily into that too. Getting modifications to our nibs and customizations. So I think that's something we both get excited about, and just trying different nibmeisters, stuff like that. So
absolutely. So that will be the next one.
Yeah, possibly. Or if there's any other topics you guys have suggestions on, put them in the comments too. But yeah, it's always really fun chatting with all of you and with Julia. So thanks for joining, everyone.
Yeah. See you guys next time. We don't have a cool ending thing like the juicy bras. I want to say stay juicy, bitches, but we can't say that. We can't. So see you guys next time.
As long as you quote them, give them their due credit, you know.
Juicy bitches.
We'll just say happy holidays. Yes. Since this was our holiday edition. Happy holidays to you and yours. Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye.